Hello and welcome to Byte's second annotational analysis of the Premiership game between Crack Clan and Epsilon Esports on the map, which is CP_snakewater. Crack Clan playing in blue and Epsilon playing in red. Now I decided to do an analysis of this video because it was a very interesting battle of affairs really between the two teams. Obviously Epsilon being number one in Europe for the past 6 months, 9 months at least, if not a year, and Crack Clan losing form, bringing back form, and so on and so forth. And this being a custom map that both teams are not used to, as opposed to Badlands or Granary, would be an interesting battle, I thought, and it turned out to be a very interesting battle. And end result was Crack Clan taking it 2-1 on Golden Cap, I believe. So I'm going to go through the whole analysis for you, let you know why Epsilon didn't win and why Crack Clan did, showing all the flaws from Crack Clan and all the flaws hopefully from Epsilon. Obviously using the annotational tool as well to show you territory and just what people should look out for and what actually happened and so on and so forth. So without further ado, let's just unpause it. Now the reason I've put the camera angle here at the moment is because I believe this first round Epsilon are going to go for a kamikaze soldier approach onto the medic, i.e. stop the heals going around for Crack Clan's team. So if you just take a look now, it's demo a piece here, sticky a piece, Randa and Red Shock there. Red Shock taking a little bit more damage, and there we can see I'm just going to pause it right there for you. Like you can see, I was saying the kamikaze soldier technique. Coming in, he came from over here, rocket jumped on there, and he's going to strafe onto there. Now the problem is, while this strategy is an effective one sometimes, in this case I believe it's Gear who's there pretty early, doesn't hit the first rocket on the medic, but more importantly he is on his own. I'm assuming he's waiting, or not waiting, he's assuming that Nox is going to be rocket jumping, which is, you can't actually see, but Nox is just there on the floor. Nox is going to be rocket jumping at the same time, or maybe 1 second out of sync, at the same time onto the medic. But in this case, Gear does not, or should I say Gear, Nox does not reach where Gear is in terms of attacking. So Gear's already gone in, and he doesn't manage to get the medic down. And Nox pushes in afterwards, but only 2 or 3 seconds afterwards, which is not very effective because of the fact that now that the team know what Epsilon are going to be doing in terms of strategy-wise, they can easily neutralize it. So what they do is they prepare themselves for this kamikaze soldier, because Gear is going for the medic here, and not for the demo. Thinking that if he kills the medic then there's no heals, and then the scouts from Epsilon can clean up as always. But if we just unpause it and take a look, there's Gear coming in. He gets absolutely annihilated. Now if just unpause it a little bit more, and there you can see there's Nox. He came from the floor, rocket jumped there, and he's going to try and land on a medic. To be fair, Nox does a really good job on Royce. He gets 2 lovely rockets on him, but it's not enough because Gear didn't actually hit him at all. But if Gear had hit him once, Nox would have taken him down because his last rocket was beautiful, but just a shame it didn't count for anything. So Gear goes down. Let's unpause it. And you can see Royce is on 40 health. Just to show you what the plan was. So the soldier from here lands here, other soldier comes here, goes here. The medic from Crack Clan was here. Both soldiers. That was the idea, to terminate the medic or annihilate the medic. At the same time, the scouts from Epsilon, one came here, dropped back down onto the floor. Randa stuck with the medic, moved forward here, and that was their plan of attack, shall we say, to make the Crack Clan drop back and them have all this area while Randa's chucking out some stickies and dealing out the damage with the scouts coming in. However, it doesn't work out like that. Nox gets taken down, so does Gear, and then so does Walters by a grenade from Red Shock, who does really well. So they're already up against it here, Epsilon, and they need to think about getting out. So obviously don't forget there is also, just to put point there is a soldier there who's aiming for F2, so needs to be careful here. Just unpause it. See, so it's all gone to misery. Now F2 manages to get out. You can see he's going through there. Now this is pretty poor. I've just got to mention it pretty quickly because F2 is on no health. This scout just should really kill this medic, because if he does, then CC will have a full Uber advantage, pushing to last. And I'm pretty sure F2 thought, yeah, I'm going to go down here. But I think it's Harold, who's actually Bash from TLR, formerly known from TLR. It doesn't manage to kill him, and it actually, believe it or not, it makes a difference as to what happens in the next few minutes. So if we just unpause it, somehow F2 managed to stay alive, gets out, and the soldiers with him, so there's no way he can get in. F2 does some great needles. Just to show you, actually just pause it there. Now the reason F2 is playing pretty cautious here is the fact that he knows he's got a disadvantage because he wasn't healing anyone, hence he's on 71 instead of 91. So he's thinking, well, CC may have already been pushing up, a bit like Infused with their aggression, because Infused, I'd say, were probably the most aggressive team currently in Premiership at the moment, and he's thinking maybe CC will be thinking about pushing with the heavies onto last because they've got Uber and Epsilon don't. So what he's doing is he's staying wisely in spawn, and the soldier there recognises it. He's thinking, yep, we've got to Uber you up here, get you back up to speed, and make sure you stay alive. That's the main thing. Once we've got Uber, need to get out there and get in their faces. At the same time, just going to show you really quickly, Randa does some beautiful stickies, and you see them there. So he puts focus on, so he makes it so that you focus on these stickies, so you draw yourself away. So what's going to happen is that all the other classes are going to go here, and then obviously the stickies here should kill a few, and that's where he gets a few picks off. You'll see shortly as well. The control point is being captured. Obviously now they have a sniper as well. I'm just going to get a nice angle. Let's just show you the Epsilon defense setup. It's actually a very good one. It's, I'd say, a 9 out of 10 setup for me. I'll just let you know, wait until that soldier gets a buff first. And there we go. Right, so there we can see, in my eyes, a 9 out of 10, I say perfect, 9 out of 10 defense setup. You've got the heavy on top, which means obviously an Ubered heavy against anything is on the higher ground. Remember, it's on high ground. Is going to be really, really difficult for anyone on the low ground, which would be down here. If they come through here as well, and if they drop down here, it's going to be really difficult. Even if they come on the left, to be honest. The only blind spot, or the weak spot, I'd say, for the heavy is this side here, in the fact that it's such a blind eye movement, that in a second he could be savaged literally by a load of players coming at him at the same time, and he can't cope with all of them. So the heavy's in a good position there. Sniper, they're running a sniper here, Epsilon, which is great, which means a great paranoia effect. It means you can cover all angles, mainly this one over here, which means obviously his sort of range of territory that he's covering is pretty unique. The only one he's not again covering is here. It's not very easy to cover from this side because he's being blocked by the wall. And the Downman just is doing his job by putting his stickies there. So if we think about it, let's take a look at the places covered. We've got here covered, we've got here covered from the soldiers, and we've also got here covered by the soldiers. I'll come back to that in a minute. We've got here covered in terms of the heavy stopping anything coming near, and then at the same time we've got a sniper covering all the way across here. Now if you just look at how much territory is actually being covered, and technically all of this area is covered because there's soldiers here. However, the only place that isn't covered is, I'm going to try and do it in a different colour, is this area here. This is why I said it was a 9 out of 10, and this is where it comes from the underneath and the bottom in the middle. Now, Epsilon Esports' soldiers are probably one of the best defensive soldiers in terms of sinking, because they time their rockets really well so that they do double the damage, but they do alternate their rockets and make sure that they have enough ammo. They're really good at it, and we've seen it time and time again where they do it on Badlands on lasts, bottom right, where they take down a demo man just by chucking in 4 rockets at the same time. It's pretty good, and to be honest, the most effective we've seen in a while in terms of soldier pairing. And the reason I'm mentioning it now is because you'll see what happens here with CC when they're trying to push out on this side, because they are going to push out from this side here. And you'll see what a difference it makes when you've got 2 synced soldiers knowing how to spam and how to time it. It makes such a huge difference. So let's take a look. I forget Walters is running a sniper here, so he takes down Harry Hook. So obviously they're already at a disadvantage here. CC, they'll be thinking, okay, we're a player down. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. Take a look at the scoreboard. Yeah, so Harry Hook goes down. He is most likely going to go sniper. Clumsy kill there. Sorry, clumsy death by Walters. No need for him to go down. Now they're minus a player, and now you can see Harry Hook has gone sniper. Now just take a look at this. Just take a look at this beautiful by the soldiers from Epsilon. They time their rockets so well. 1 damage there, 1 rocket there, 1 rocket there, another rocket there, another rocket there. Look at Matt Nunn, he's 141 health, he's about to push. What does it mean? It means the medic has to uber early. As you can see right there, he's ubered really, really early, inside almost. And what can Matt Nunn do with an uber? He's only on 108 health, remember, so once he disconnects, he's not going to be on much health when he lands. That's some great play by the soldiers there. That was all the soldiers' play. Nox goes down there from the sniper in the middle. That was the only problem, you see. This is what I was trying to mention. This is why it was a 9 out of 10 defensive strategy, because the only place that they did not cover here, Epsilon, was here. Which means that if there was a sniper coming in from blue, I'm going to write that as an S for sniper, all he would have to do is look across here and snipe the heavy, or the medic who was standing on top of here as well. So it's the only place that they weren't covering very well, and a sniper could easily, someone of the caliber of Walters or Cookie or someone, could easily just pop out, 1 second, bam, medic's dead or heavy's dead, and it can make a huge difference. So this was the problem, the only problem in their defensive strategy. But other than that, the soldiers did really well, to be honest, covering that right hand side, did a great job with the spam. And now Randa tries to push them back, I believe, as you can see, but he's very, very weak. F2 Ubers. If you take a look, just got to pause it right here as well. F2's on 23%. They've Ubered. Randa's on 92 health. Now this is a massive risk for me because all of CC are alive and they managed to get out. Okay, sure, 2 of them are weak. Maybe 3, classify 3 as weak, but nonetheless, Randa's pushing in here on his own, no support from a soldier or a scout with this Uber, and it's almost about to run out, and Randa's on low health. Now this is make or break for me. If he didn't kill anyone here, he would have died here, or he would have just managed to get out, but luckily, because CC should have capitalised on the fact that he was on his own, but nonetheless, Randa does do well here, pushes out, capitalises on the Uber advantage, gets some stickies in. The soldier does really well, but he kills the Delman and the soldier. And you can see the soldier's going for last. So they're 3 down here. It's 6 versus 3. This should be Epsilon. So you can see the soldier's underneath. He's about to go down. Gear got the call from the heavy, who was Stefan, I think. Now they can hold up. Nox has been sniped here. He's very weak, 52 health. Now this is a pretty icky defensive strategy to set up here on Snakewater, capture point 2, because a sniper doesn't have free range, but he can do a lot of damage from this distance. So what they do is, just to show you, waiting for the scouts to pop out in a minute. They should be popping out any minute shortly. Just to point out quickly, very quickly, they had 2 scouts Epsilon, but they switched back to a sniper because they know that Crack Clan have also a sniper. So they thought, well, how to cancel a sniper? With another sniper. You can see they're pushing normal here. Look at this. Walters misses his shot. Now this is a battle fight going on here, a sniper battle fight going on between the two. You can see it right here. It's literally a one-on-one. Whoever wins it will have the advantage because of the paranoia effect, because each sniper can cover a huge amount of area. Obviously Epsilon Esports probably about here, all of this area. And for Crackland, again, all of this area. Now I have to favour the Crackland sniper here, just because they're on the attack and he's able to cover more. Obviously he has more options to cover, but I actually favour him in this position. And you can see Walters gets a headshot. He's going to have to drop back a little bit to get heals. It's a nice pick by Walters though. Takes down Harry Hook. Pescanova goes down here. They're outnumbered here. But they didn't Uber. No team Ubered here. Just to point out here that Crackland have lost 2 here. So it's 6 versus 4 and they know they've got to get out. But he goes down to Randa Stickies. There are 3 players down here. There's Scout behind. Sorry, Soldier behind. But Bash does a great job there of taking them out. Now this for me, this next passage to play is pretty poor by Crackland. I don't know what they were thinking. In my eyes, they should have just been kept on dropping back, which is what they look like they're doing in this case. For some reason, Bash decides to go forward thinking, yeah, I can take on this soldier. He is weak. Why not? To be fair, he is weak. He's on just under 100 health. And Adeleman's here as well. But the difference is they are -3 players here. And F2 still has Uber advantage. Sorry, Uber, not advantage, but he has the Uber, and he has 5 players. Makes a huge difference in terms of quantity. So it's 5 versus 3 at the moment. And I think if I was Crackland, I would be dropping out here. But for some reason they stay in, and Roisey ends up having to use the Uber to save himself, along with the Delman, rather than using it to actually gain an advantage. Now if you take a look, see there's Bash. Roisey can't get to him, and now they've actually Ubered. A short F2 Ubers, it's fine, that's a good job by Crackland, but nonetheless they've actually been pushed out, and they lose a scout in the process for that point. F2 is weak, but managed to stay alive. So now we're back to the other side now on CP2. Let's take a look at Crackland's setup here. Now let's just take a look at Red Shot Stickies here. This is something a lot of people will wonder why. Now, a lot of you were thinking, okay, fine. He's put Stickies here. No problem. I'll just stay away from it. Now, Red Shot's relying on the fact that you have to deviate from these Stickies, because these Stickies basically means that it can go, somewhere around here. Now, obviously, you're not going to come on here and cap the point from this side normally if you're attacking, as you're pushing from this way or you're pushing from this way. So, Red Shot's relying on the fact that someone comes in here, Scout comes here, goes, question mark. I can see some Stickies here. Let's move to the left-hand side. Although at the same time he hasn't realised in the fact that there's some Stickies there. So when he stands over here, he's going to go and get terminated basically and die. And that's the idea behind Red Shot's Stickies. So he's basically trying to create a distraction by you looking at them, thinking, "Yeah, I've got to get away from them." So you stand over here, and then obviously these Stickies will just kill anything. 4 Stickies is enough to take down a medic, scout maybe, and potentially a soldier as well, depending how close they are. So, yeah, that's the idea behind these Stickies. Red Shot doing a pretty good job there with these Stickies, to be honest. Smart thinking. But if you look at Epsilon, they're not keen to push. They're only on 35%. Royce's actually got a slight Uber advantage. I don't know why CC are quite cautious. I think they're just a little bit nervous here. They are running a sniper here. As you can see, he's just missed the medic. Royce is trying to stay away from him. However, Stefan comes in there. Can you just see there? There was a sniper there. Scout comes in thinking, yeah, no way, man. You're not going to take down my sniper. And he takes down Harry Hook, who was on here, or around here, and ended up dying from Stefan, who does really well. Now the soldier thinks, well, hang on a minute. You just killed my scout. I can come in and come and kill you. However, at the same time, Epsilon's teamwork is phenomenal, and another soldier puts him off with his rockets as well, and he can't take him on. He's very weak. Matnon gets completely owned. Stefan does a great job. See, as you can see, if you just look at how Epsilon just pushed that, literally it was a sniper here. Scout came in to save him, so he saves his sniper. So the sniper goes back in. Scout comes in onto here, meat shots the soldier, who has to drop back. Now Stefan was weak, so he has to after that he has to drop back and get heals off F2. Then the soldier from the window comes in. Rocket jumps onto here. As you can see, he's there. Pushes them back. Other soldier covers other side. Pushes them back. At the same time, Randa is just behind the medic, about to jump or either move up forward and push stickies onto them. So basically, it was a very team-coordinated push there. Scout with the sniper creates the room for the soldiers to get in. They drop back, CC. Soldiers come in, mark their presence. Randa now is the key figure here. He needs to push them back completely so they go all the way back in. And I think this is what happens.
The control point is being contested.
F2 goes down actually from a ninja flank from Epsilon. I forgot to actually mention that as well. He actually came from over here when Gear, I think it was, who came out the window when I said that it was a great team coordinated push, but no one was thinking about the flank because Gear had left his flank. So obviously there should have been someone watching behind or watching. Yeah, someone should be watching behind. Usually it's either a scout or a Delman, or maybe a good pocket soldier. So Gear came out, landed onto here. Okay, that's fine. That's not a bad move. That's a good move. But then again, at the same time, the soldier pushed out here, went through the house, came out through here, landed on the medic, killed the medic, and now obviously CC have the massive Uber advantage, and they're going to Uber out here and push Epsilon completely back. And now they're in trouble here, Epsilon Esports. So what they're going to do here is going to try and force the medic. Randa gets a lovely grenade onto Roisey. Roisey does so well not to use it. He's one of the rarest medics in Premiership TF2 to not pop the Uber so early. So now they're 5 down. However, what is going to go on here? Stefan is the only scout alive, and no one calculates it, which is very, very poor by Crackland. That's really poor. There was only one player up, and he wasn't dead. He's going for last here. Stefan does a great job. Saves Epsilon's bacon again. However, if you just take a look here by Crackland, Dowerman scout, and then there's a soldier up above here, all going to land on this scout. So obviously Stefan is going to go down instantly, and he does. But he does a great job by saving Epsilon Esports, because basically what he's done is he's bought himself 20 minutes. Is it 20 minutes? 20 odd seconds. But that was really poor there by Gear and the other scout. Somehow Walters managed to stay alive on 3 health, 7 health, and now F2 manages to get out, and CC are really good with their aggression there. But as I said, Stefan did a really, really good job, because if I'm just going to pause it for you now, look at the fact that now F2 is on 81. He would never have been on 81 if it wasn't for Stefan's back cap, because he bought his team about 15 to 20 seconds of Uber time to build, and that he would have, if he didn't have that, he would have been on around 50%. Now 100 versus 50 is a hard ask basically, because if Crackland had the adrenaline and the momentum pushing forward, they would have gone forward and known that Epsilon don't have it. But because obviously there was a back cap, they know that Epsilon would have been building their Uber pretty quickly, and that's what's happened. So Stefan actually is the man of the moment there for Epsilon Esports, because now they can even contend and hold capture point 2, which is the main thing.
Time has been added.
Let's take a look now. Stefan is running a sniper, just to show you the versatility really of Epsilon Esports. This is why they're one of the best in Europe. They can have players who can just switch classes just like that. I mean, Walters was the sniper last time, but at the same time, Stefan was also heavy on last. And now he's a sniper. Walters plays spy. Stefan plays spy. That versatility adds a dynamic factor to the team and makes it really hard to predict what the team is going to do. That's why Epsilon Esports are probably top of the game. So obviously now Epsilon Esports should be able to hold this, in theory. 2 soldiers trying to come right hand side. Harry Hook goes down. Stefan goes down for it though. However, he eats 2 rockets, and he managed to take down Walters as well, in fact. So it's actually 3 versus 3, but Royce's had to pop first, and now F2 Ubers. Now he's thinking, there is a soldier after him. Randa's probably called it, saying, hang on a minute, there's a soldier after me inside the lobby. Help me out here, F2. So this is what happens. Goes after him. F2 recognises it. Let's just take a look. F2 recognises it, thinking, uh-oh, my demo man, let's go save him. So he goes and Ubers his demo man. Beautiful Uber. Somehow this soldier doesn't go down. Matt Nunn, pretty poor he didn't go down, but nonetheless F2 does a pretty good job there. keeps his team alive, and basically we're back to square one. Epsilon can hold with 6 players, and CC can continue charging. Obviously, CC have a slight Uber advantage. You're probably asking where they got that advantage from. Well, it's the fact that CC Ubered first, and Epsilon Esports decided to hold on to the Uber longer, which means that CC now have the slight Uber advantage of 25%. It might not be enough, though. I don't think CC will push it. I don't think they realise how much of an advantage they have at this stage. Only 8 minutes gone almost on the clock here as well. Nice defensive strategy here by Epsilon Esports, just comment on it. So basically what they're doing is here, Epsilon Esports, they're going to say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll leave you scouts buffed outside, tell us where they're coming from, then we'll come out and help you. That's the idea. So they've obviously got the vision of over here, and also window here, and through there, and through here. So basically, and also with the soldier here, it's just a massive force field covering here. There's literally nothing that can get through. Or in behind or something like that. So that's the idea behind Epsilon Esports. While they are busy, while they're busy Ubering up, obviously F2 now has 100%. So it's just a case of waiting for CC to see how they push. It's great spam coming by the soldiers. Bit of a stalemate situation. Bird's eye, or shall I say, first person point of view of Randa. It's constant spam here. They're mile minus a player here. Epsilon Esports should be thinking about pushing here, but they're really slow to push. And if you take a look at CC's position, they think that Epsilon here are going to push. They think they're going to do what Infuse would normally do, and rightly so, to be honest. Infuse, well, I'm pretty sure we'll be pushing at this stage. But Epsilon Esports are just too slow. You'll see shortly how slow they are into pushing with that advantage, because it's still 12 seconds. It's still quite a considerable amount of time. But nonetheless, Epsilon Esports do not push. They are so slow in pushing. So slow, and there's no point anymore. So now we go back to capture point 2, and Epsilon Esports go back to restarting in terms of their defensive strategy. Two scouts, same position as you can see, once again overlooking the area. Very controlled, very organised. See, 2 scouts versus 1, trying to team up. That soldier's trying to help him. Goes down. Now they're a player down. They should be thinking about pushing here, Epsilon Esports. And Crackdown are waiting for them again, but Epsilon Esports are just too slow to push. They think 1 scout is not, or 1 player down is not an advantage. I disagree. I think Epsilon Esports should have pushed more. They were way too passive here, in my opinion, and either they're nervous or they're just not confident enough on how to push from second to third. So now we're back to square one, even though they've killed a player twice now, or they could have pushed twice. They are running a sniper now, and Epsilon Esports know it. Let's take a look here. Trying to get a first person point of view of Randa. Now they know there's a sniper right hand side. You can see there's a soldier here from Epsilon Esports constantly spamming down on the sniper, but now obviously he's used all his rockets, so now it's Randa's turn to chuck all his grenades. As you can see, makes a difference on the sniper, putting him off so he can't get any picks. Soldier keeps on spamming. Gear goes down though, so it's a nice pick by a Red Shock. So now CC think, well, hang on a minute, we've got a player advantage here, we've got to push. This is very interesting how Epsilon Esports play this. They Uber out here pretty early. Now what's the problem here? Epsilon Esports were minus a player here, but now they've been separated here, Crackdown. They're all over the place, Crackdown, for me. They don't know what's going on. There's a sniper watching behind, thinking, yeah, someone's going to flank him. There's a down man watching behind, thinking something's going to flank him. The soldiers are looking forward. The non-existent scout from Crackclan has gone back, I believe. So they're pretty much in a defensive position. They're not even facing the right way, except for the soldiers, I'd say. The soldiers are the only people facing forward. And then you can see Epsilon Esports, they've got a slight Uber advantage because F2 Ubered after Roisy. And they've got numbers here. They've got scout here, soldier here, still Ubered, demo here, still Ubered, which means they can jump without taking any damage. So they've got the slight advantage here, Epsilon Esports. It's because CC weren't so coordinated in how they push. But if you take a look at their actual structure, it's not very, it's not very aggressive. It's very much the opposite. It's very defensive. There's no territory trying to be gained here. They're just thinking about getting out because they're confused about something. As to what, I don't know. Maybe someone flanking, and I think that is the case. So now that soldier goes down for it, now that medic goes down for it, and Roisy managed to stay alive, in fact, but it's Pescanova and Matlin that goes down, but they managed to get out. There is a sniper on. Somehow Roisy and Red Shock has managed to stay alive against, obviously, a down man and medic is pretty difficult. Roisy managed to stay alive, which is great, but Epsilon Esports thinking about pushing here. They've got to, in my opinion, it's 6 versus 4, they've got to push here, and they know it. You can see, let's take a look at this synchronized movement here. Right, so just take a look now. This was really good play by Epsilon Esports. 2 scouts first, pushing them back, meat shots, or just basically irritational shots, pushing them back, and CC are thinking about, whoa, we can't take these guys on. We're feeling the heat here. We've got to go back in. Scouts come in. They do their job here. They're tagged here quite a bit. Now the soldiers come in. If you just take a look, now the soldier jumps in along with the other soldier, does their bit. F2 knows it, recognises that whoever's taking the damage up front is going to get heals, priority heals, and then he can heal the rest later on. Randall was the last guy in. He's only on 101 health. And now he'll get healed because he wasn't in the line of defense, as it were. This is interesting to see from Epsilon Esports. Now, for me, this is going to be the worst possible situation for Epsilon Esports to push. I do not like this at all. They've got soldiers pushing out here with an Uber, and the Crackclan have a heavy who can be Ubered to push them back. This for me is one of the worst types of pushes you can do against a heavy who is on high ground. No matter, even if you are Ubered as a soldier, if it was a demo, it'd be a bit of a different story. If the heavy wasn't Ubered, but if the heavy isn't Ubered and it's a soldier who is Ubered against him, even the heavy can stop him taking a lot of damage just by using the gun to push him back while Ubered. That's how ineffective it is, and unfortunately Epsilon Esports push that way, and as you can see, this is what happens. He gets pushed back completely. He does manage to force the Uber. Now for me that was pretty weak by Roisy. Now we complimented him for not popping the Uber so early. In this case he popped it when everyone is on full health almost. I don't understand why. He's clearly nervous against Epsilon Esports. He's feeling the heat, the experience maybe of Epsilon, the domination they have so far on the scene, and so on and so forth. He's feeling it. He's having to twitch, and he's popped it. He shouldn't have popped it. Basically, he should have just done what F2 did on last, which is basically pop their Uber. They come rocket jumping in. Don't pop it unless you really have to, and then go. But in this case, he didn't even really have to, and Nox gets away, or is it Gear? Sorry, Gear gets away with murder here. I'm not sure if it's Nox or Gear actually. He gets away with murder by popping them and being really lucky in that case. However, they stay in here. Gear should be going down. The Red Shock against Randa's in. I don't know what, they're all over the place here. They are 3 players down here, about to be 4 players down, and Epsilon Esports need to get out now, and they can see Gear does the right move here, rocket jumping away, getting out, because you know we're going to take that on. Now, what does this mean? Question mark. Well, they're minus a demo at the moment, but he's about to spawn, so I'm pretty sure CC would have calculated that. But this is where, once again, the soldiers from Epsilon Esports sinking with their rockets becomes so handy. You'll see why. Even though Roisy has an Uber advantage, you'll see he ends up dying, all because of the sinking of the rockets from the Epsilon Esports soldiers, Nox and Gear. Just just a brief message, just to show you that the scouts are going on here. Again, why? Height advantage. Other scout on here. Why? Again, height advantage. So anything that's jumping in is going to get taken down, meat-shotted like hell. So the person who rocket jumped is going to lose health for rocket jumping or sticky jumped. If he once he's rocket jump or sticky jump and taking that damage, he's going to get a meat shot. Plus that meat shot, that's 100 damage. Plus the crater, that's like another 30 damage, 40 damage. That's like 180 damage in one go, just lost. So they know what they're doing here, the Epsilon Esports scouts. They're trying to get the height advantage, and they do that. Even further, they go up even higher. They are furiously Ubering here, Epsilon Esports. Now the scouts try and help him. See now, look, it's been called. Look at this. You can see that both soldiers, it's been called. The medic's there with the demo, and look what happens. And there the medic goes down. Medic is terminated. He had uber advantage as well. He didn't realise the soldiers would sink so well, but they did. The Epsilon Esports soldiers sink so well that they sent 4 to 6 rockets, I think it was, 4 to 6 rockets in a space of 5 seconds, and Roisey was dead. So it was a great play by Epsilon Esports. Now they have the uber advantage, and now they have the medic to heal other players, whereas Crackland don't. So now Epsilon Esports have just killed Roisey. They're gonna Crackland gonna have to get out now ASAP. And now you can see Retshot's putting his ninja stickies, but I don't think he'll have enough time really to do the same again. I could be wrong, but Stefan goes down, so that's a great pick. However, Bash goes down for it as well. Walters is the only scout here, so he needs to be careful here. Now just take a look at this. This is amazing, because it just shows you how clever a downman can be just to get a kill off someone. Now Red Shock, I did mention to you before, put some stickies last time on here and here. Now I said the scout would spot this, or should I say in this arrow, would spot these and move to this side, or maybe this side. If he moves to this side, then he's fine. If he moves to this side, he's dead. But he didn't. He actually saw these stickies first, the ninja stickies. So basically what he was thinking was, where are the ninja stickies? Where are the awkward stickies first, before looking out for the simplistic stickies? So what he's done is, he sees the stickies, walks all over it, still walks all over it, sees those stickies, and he goes down. It's unbelievable. How such simple stickies can make such a huge difference. And now once again, Epsilon Esports are pushing in. However, they got caught out here because there was a sniper being run. At the same time, Retshock and the other soldier came in, who just died, but he came in, took down Nox. Retshock does a great pick there. Harry Hook comes and helps him. F2 manages to go onto a scout and get out, and it's actually held. Again, Stefan doing his job, holding for his team. I don't know why Epsilon Esports are dropping out here. They should be thinking about staying, because I know they're a player down, but the Crackdown lost 2 players, and there's no way they could have attacked this. You can see Walters has gone spy, and Harry Hook is sniper. Now again, a bit of versatility by the Epsilon Esports players, and it actually becomes really handy. However, it does not win them the round, but it should have, but it does not win them the round. Let's take a look of Walters. You can see he's going behind here. Now just take a look. He knows that the heavy is going to be the main threat from Clackland on against Epsilon Esports. So his threat is either the medic or the heavy. So in this case, he's going to go for the heavy. He gets taken down. 3 versus 3. Lovely air shot by Retshock. The only reason Nox just died so quickly then was because of Retshock's air grenade on Nox. Could have got the medic, who was on 63 health, so Nox was pretty unfortunate there. And now it's just Stefan against 3 of them, who've got a medic as well. See, Stefan does a great job here. He's just waiting for a ninja pick, maybe. Trying to create a distraction. Now, this is interesting to see by Epsilon Esports. The scout comes in, tries to take down the demo. This soldier here doesn't sync up well. He tries to go for the medic instead. Now, a bit of great individual solo play here. Gear comes in from here, lands a rocket. Roy's on 91, lands another rocket on Roisey, and then lands one more shotgun, and Roisey goes down. This is a great bit of play, a bit of distraction. Maybe they were going for the distraction route where Stefan comes in as a side on the side, going after the down man. So the down man has to focus on saving his life. And while Gear takes down the medic, I'm not too sure. I think Gear just thought, well, the medic's there, I'm going to take him out, rather than trying to sync up with Stefan. But nonetheless, he takes down the medic. It's beautiful. I managed to stay alive as well. And now they're minus a medic here. So you think Epsilon Esports should have the full Uber advantage, which they will. Another pick by Gear, it's beautiful. Now if you were Epsilon Esports, would you push, or would you just continue building? Here you can see they're thinking about it. Soldier takes the damage and goes down. Now this is beautiful by Epsilon Esports. Crackland are all over the place. They've only just spawned. They've managed to come from this side. Heavy's on his own. He's against a soldier here, a downman who's coming this way, a scout who's coming in, a sniper, a soldier who's coming in. It's going to be too much for him. And the heavy's gone down. Now this for me is poor from Epsilon Esports. You'd think it's 5 versus 3. They should win this easily. Now what Retshock has cleverly done is he's put stickies on the point, so that it stops anyone thinking about, okay, we'll get some cap time on, because they can't, because the stickies on the point. Now, for me, what Randa's done, he's decided basically to do the whole trapping the down man and spawn thing, so he can't come out and save the day. But he keeps on forgetting the fact that the timer is still ticking for people to spawn from CC, and Harold, Bash that is, becomes a key part of this save on last, because he ends up killing 4 players, all because no one from Epsilon Esports sacrificed himself into capping that point. For me, if I was the medic from Epsilon Esports, I would be going on that point, sacrificing myself. Yes, it means that no one will get any heals, but it also means that you would get some cap time and the stickies would have been gone, and you have a soldier and a scout who's alive could easily cap that point before anyone can get out of spawn. So at the moment, you just take a look at this. Randa is looking here, trying to do some damage, but at the same time he's looking here. Now, if we just take a look, so there's 4 down here. It's 5 versus 2. 5 versus 2. Now Harold's about to spawn. Sure, it'll be 5 versus 3, but nonetheless, they should be winning this. Epsilon Esports. But instead, the medic comes on, stops the point a little bit. You can see Bash kills Gear, kills the medic, and now he's against the sniper. Clutch moment, and he saves the day. That was a really, really, really sloppy attack by Epsilon Esports. Their aggression was great. They didn't continue and sacrifice someone for the point. And now Epsilon Esports scouts and soldier try and sync up here. It's beautiful. The soldier came from here, the scout came from here. They caused a bit of damage, distraction. Scout against him. Here, should I say, in blue, trying to kill him. I think he does, but the other scout does enough distraction to try and put this soldier off, which he does. I've just lost 2 players here, but they've managed to hold. That scout goes down. Some lovely grenades by Randa there. I don't know if you saw them, but he chucked some grenades. He just thought that CC would be pushing from down there, and Royzy, or is it Harry Hook, I'm not sure who, someone eats a great grenade at the bottom there, and they're having to think about dropping out. And that was enough to put Crackclan off and drop him back. Don't forget they are running a sniper here. Great grenade by Randa. 6 versus 3. Again, just take a look at Retshock. He knows that he's got players down, so what does he need to do? He needs to buy some time. Yes, that's right, you can use stickies to buy some time. It sounds really odd, but put stickies on an area, which means no one can touch that area, which means time is ticking, because they've either got to shoot those stickies, or they're going to have to try and kill everyone first before they get onto that capture point. Because remember, capture point win games, not kills. But they are outnumbered here. Now you can see the scout has come in as a distraction here from Epsilon Esports. The soldier knows he's there. He's managed to get in, and now they're all pushing here. The the left-hand side. Sorry, shall I say right-hand side if you're defending. Some great spam. Stefan doing an excellent job here. Look how much just, it's not Stefan, sorry, Walters, look how much, sorry, not Walters, it is Stefan, look how much confidence and aim and just the ability to push an entire team back. Just look at where all of CC are. They're all behind. They all just got pushed back by spam and the aggression of Stefan. He's done his job. Look, he managed his job back. Get out. He dies though, unfortunately. Randa goes down here. That was F2's fault. Gear goes down as well, thinking he needs to stay alive. Nox goes down as well. And it's just basically Walters and F2. And Walters ends up going down. And again, another uncoordinated attack by Epsilon Esports. They could have easily won it, but nonetheless, Stefan did a really good job there. But Epsilon Esports weren't aggressive enough. For me, they're not passive. They're not too aggressive enough on this map. They're too passive. So let's take a look again at this position. Just again, the soldiers syncing really well with their spam. Once again, look how effective their soldiers are in defense. It's just a force of spam. How can you deal with that? It's almost as bad as a Delman with stickies and grenades. You know, 2 soldiers spamming, synchronizing with rockets. Alternatively, it's just immense. And they managed to do it so well, and it puts off any team. Obviously, Epsilon Esports know they've got a slight disadvantage in Uber because obviously F2 was the only one who was alive, who wasn't healing anyone. So obviously he's losing time on building that charge. But it won't phase Epsilon Esports. Let's take a look at CC's setup. Now, Epsilon Esports thinking, well, hang on a minute, we're going to drop out here because we haven't got Uber advantage, and they're right. Epsilon Esports don't have the Uber advantage; they're on 30% deficit. Now, this is interesting. Now, what happens here? Now, this is the problem for me. CC were correct to Uber, like not so early. Royce, I think for me, Uber too early, but nonetheless, I think they would have had to have Ubered anyway because Epsilon Esports had position on that point. Now they're trying to chase here. Great move, and that's correct. They're trying to kill the demo, no problem. Gear goes down, no problem. Okay, fine. Problem is this point, capture point. It's not being capped, and F2 is on 86%. Give it 5 more seconds, he'll have Uber. 5 to 7 more seconds, he'll have Uber in time to hold this point. And I'm pretty sure, even if you had ×4 on that point, they will not cap it in time, because what they'll do is Epsilon Esports, they'll send in a decoy just to stop that point temporarily and then Uber out. Now, the only way CC could capitalise on the fact that they Ubered early and take advantage of the fact that they Ubered early is by killing players. They killed Gear, they needed to kill 1 more player at least, but I don't think they managed to do that. They haven't even started capping, now they are. It's too little too late for me. And Epsilon Esports thinking, hey, we can stop this. And there's a back cap going on as well. So they've Ubered now. Walters does a great move there, takes down Pescanova, and now they're all over the place here, but Random manages to save himself against Harry Hook, but he gets taken down by the other scout, and now CC have committed all 4 players, and they've all gone down for it. However, Royce does a good job of not just running away, trying to save his scout. He does that. There's no way here that Crackland can hold this, and that was actually, believe it or not, Crackland's mistake. They should have started capping that. If they realised that Epsilon managed to get out quickly enough, they should have started capping with ×6, ×7 on the point. They would have capped it for sure, and they could have separated, and that would have meant they had more of a chance to maybe hold middle by separating, but all being alive at the same time instead of dealing with an Uber. I don't know why Red Shock's putting stickies on the point. Maybe just to say, you know, well, if you want to cap it, you're going to have to kill me first. Fair enough. Now, if we just take a look at Crackland's setup. Now, this is really interesting. You saw Epsilon Esports setup, and instead, Randa had stickies on the left-hand side. Red Shock does not in this case. They have no one with a height advantage except for this scout, which frankly is the worst thing ever to do. You might as well put a sniper on there or a pyro. They've got a soldier on the floor covering a right-hand side, which basically covers nothing. They've got a sniper on here, also covering here, which does nothing. You've got the soldier here who's thinking, oh, poor me, I'm on my own here, I'm against now an Uber, and so on and so forth. And you've got the medic, obviously, who's behind the truck healing the sniper, soldier, and scout. Now, if you just take a look at this setup as opposed to the one from Epsilon Esports where they had soldier here, that's +2 for me, +2 advantage. That's height advantage they've got right there. Means they're very hard to take down because people have got to go up to them to be taking any damage, unless you're a down man, obviously. Same time, the medic is in no man's land. The F2 was on this side, healing a sniper and a demo. At the same time, a heavy here. Now that for me is a much more solid approach, because the heavy can cover just about any area. Down man's covering this side. The sniper can cover all this area. Now, if you just take a look at Crackland's sort of force field of territory that they're covering, these people here, just here. Down man here, not covering anything. At the moment, he's not covering anything except for this point. That's it. Scout, I wonder what he's doing. He is supposedly covering all of this area. Unlikely. Very, very, very unlikely. And this soldier here is supposedly covering this side against, a demo who's fully buffed and who could potentially be Ubered. Now, if you just take a look as to what they're covering, this is what Crackland are covering. That's it. This is it. This scout is not covering anything. For me, I don't know what he's doing there. He's standing there to what? Stop a jumping soldier or a demo? I mean, I don't get it. It doesn't work for me, and that is pretty poor. That's a very poor defense set up here by Crackland. But would Epsilon be able to capitalise on the fact that their setup is poor? I don't know. If I was Epsilon Esports in this case, I would have noticed the fact that the Crackland team are separated. You could pick people off and then maybe Uber out, or at least Uber, but take down the people who can be picked off easily without being Ubered. Take a look. Randa's been Ubered. Randa managed to get out. Lovely bit of stickies. So for me, Crackland, the only reason they got away with that is because their medic was so far away. And now Epsilon needs to... Oh, dear me. Sorry about that. Now, let's just pause something here. Now Epsilon Esports are just fed up. They've had like 4 attempts on last trying to push, and they're thinking, well, to hell with it. To hell with the Uber. I'm sick and tired of pushing with the Uber. We're just going to push here. All in one go, as a unit. We're going to completely destroy you. So basically, Nox goes in as bait. He goes down. He does a lot of damage, though. He makes Roisy weak and the demo weak. So well done to Nox personally. He may have not killed anything, but he set the scene, set the setting for the Epsilon scouts and soldier and downman to kill. And now that downman, for me, I don't know what Red Shock is doing here. He's on his own. He's going to get picked off, and he's on 68 health. So it's not a smart move. Now, for me, if Crackland are not actually... they're not in a bad position as to how many players they've got alive. However, they are about to lose their demo, and Roisy is weak. But also the fact that Epsilon Esports are pushing from the blind spot. I like to call this a blind spot because it is pretty difficult to see. If you're holding over here, it's very difficult to see on this side because of the rock and the hut. And this is what happens. They are caught out of surprise here. Red Shot goes down, Craters, and now it's just raw skill between the scouts. Look at this. Walters, Randa, and Stefan, and they win the round. Very long round. F2 with 56 points, Stefan with 27, Walters with 25. For me, Stefan saved Epsilon so many times on that. I think on 3 instances out of 4, he saved Epsilon Esports from either being crushed or losing a round. So let's take a look on middle this time. 10 minutes remaining on the clock. Red Shock's actually there pretty early this time. Interesting to see the height advantage from the soldiers. Very calculated. Soldiers managed to get some health, you see there from Epsilon Esports. He was weak, he came up here, caused a distraction against Crackland. Crackland are being pushed back. They know they haven't lost any. Crackland know that Epsilon Esports haven't lost anyone. This soldier here was weak, comes back here, gets some heals from F2. Once he gets some heals, he goes back over there. He lets this soldier drop back if he needs to. He comes in and does his damage. However, Gear goes down as a distraction, I think. I'm not too sure, but somehow Crack can come back into this. But the medic goes down. Scout's doing a great job. It's 4 versus 4. There's no chance here, and now obviously the soldier's in trying to pop the Uber, and they kill 4 players here. So again, Stefan did an excellent job. Again, he killed the medic, and he won it for Epsilon Esports on that middle, because Gear went in, he died. It was 5 versus 5. It looked like Epsilon were dropping out because they lost numbers. But then in comes Stefan, gets a meat shot on the medic, which meant that the CC had no medic and they couldn't have any heals, and Epsilon had their medic and they had to drop back. So now Epsilon Esports may be feeling a little bit more confident. I'm not entirely sure as to how they push this. I think they just wait, they play it safe and wait for the Uber advantage. Let's take a look at Crack Clan's setup. So even though they have the Uber advantage, there is a sniper covering here. You can take a look. He's looking all the way across here. He's looking all the way across here. He could also be looking all the way across here and also all the way across here. Sniper is so effective on this map. Covers all this area. The only area it doesn't cover is underneath. Going underneath here. Up here. So it could easily get flanked maybe, or go from behind and reach him through there and flanked. But nonetheless, Sniper is so effective and they know that. And what it does is basically it buys Crack Clan some time, because they need to build the Uber. They had an Uber disadvantage. Now they've managed to make it up because Epsilon Esports had to think twice about how they push. Now they're deciding to push. Randa goes down. F2 doesn't get picked off here. So that was a great pick by Bash. They're minus a demo. Interesting bit of play here. Both medics have got to juggle with two soldiers. One here, one here. One soldier there, one soldier there. Which is unlike soldiers from Epsilon Esports to juggle between players. However, he kills that soldier. Brandon does a good job here taking on that soldier. Gets juggled and goes down. It's 5 players down. 6 players down. And this point is Epsilon Esports, and they know it. Harry Hook, a sniper. Obviously he's going to try and get a pick on the medic, because obviously F2 has an Uber advantage of about 25%. If not more, 30. Yep, around 30%. Only 8 minutes left on the clock. Take a look at Epsilon Walters, thinking what he's... Let's go through how he thinks. Right, so at this stage here, he's thinking, it's going to be a sniper here, got to be careful when I snipe. Getting a buff first from the medic here. So he's on 185, so that one quick headshot does not kill him. And you can see he zooms in. Trying to check. Now that he's checked it, he's still checking for further angles. And he gets a beautiful shot. If you just saw that, that's an experience of a sniper on this map, really. He's tried it so many times. Checks initially to see if there's any sniper. Initially there isn't, however there is a sniper on that side. He just knows it, and he checks it, and he goes through the boxes and gets a headshot on Harry Hook, and that's a great pick.
You shouldn't have even gotten out of bed.
As he said, you shouldn't have even got out of bed there. The sniper said there in his taunt. That's pretty nice. Now they've got a full Uber advantage here. I don't know how Epsilon Esports do not cap this. Somehow they're all focusing on this soldier, who does actually a really good job, because now he's taking all that focus. The other scout is here as well. Walters goes down, Gear goes down. Now, for me, the push on last by Epsilon Esports is really poor. It's quite obvious that they haven't practiced it, because what happened is Gear comes in, tries to go for the medic, who's on 43 health, and to be honest, he's right for going for the medic. However, the rest of the team from Epsilon Esports are focusing on what? A scout and a soldier? When the medic almost has Uber advantage. Now Gear just sacrificed his life to try and kill that medic. However, none of Epsilon Esports are focusing on that medic over there. They're focusing on this puny little scout who's at spawn trying to kill Nox, who's on 53 health, or Randa, who's on 11 health. It's a really sloppy push here by Epsilon Esports. They had a full Uber advantage, remember? I'll say full Uber advantage. They had an Uber advantage of 50%, and they didn't even capitalise on it. So their push on last was absolutely poor for the #1 team in Europe at the moment. That push for me, I'm not liking. Randa goes down, tries to force it as well, but he was so weak. Great pick by Stefan. Now you see, I mean, this is why Stefan is probably one of the best scouts at the moment in the EU. He just buys his team again capture point, another area or some time. He buys, in this case, an area, i.e. capture point 2, because what it does now, even though Roisey has a an Uber advantage to go out on capture point 2, if Pescanova stayed alive, it would have been 4 versus 3 with an Uber advantage, which is very hard to hold on second. But now, what does Stefan just do? He just took out Pescanova, did some beautiful double jumping. He went from here, double jump from there, up there, come round there, and just double shots the soldier and takes him down. He goes down for his killing, but nonetheless, he just takes down an extra player, and now it's 3 versus 3. Okay, Roisey has the Uber advantage, but it means that Crackclan cannot push. They have to wait for numbers to push out. What does that mean? It means more time for F2 to build. And now you can see Mortis has gone spy. Now you can see the soldiers going behind as a distraction. They managed to Uber. Nox does a great job. I don't know what Randa's doing here. Stefan does a great job. Randa should be going down. Somehow he doesn't. And they're 5 players down. F2 kills himself. No, just to show you stuff. Why did F2 just kill himself? Because he knows, first of all, A, he's going to get chased and die. Second of all, if he kills himself now, he'll spawn at the same time with the other players, so he doesn't spawn at a different spawn time, so he can build the Uber up in time. So it was a clever move from F2 to actually kill himself there, because he was the only person alive. He was just running away. He could have easily been chased and killed. Why even bother? Why even bother? Just kill yourself so you can spawn at the same time with your compadres and build your Uber as quick as possible. So now they're 6 down. This is where Redshot does a really good job. He knows that they all died almost at the same time. And he gets some stickies on there. And kills Gear. That's 1 pick. And he gets 2 picks. That's a soldier and a scout down. What does that mean? 6 versus 4 means Epsilon Esports can't even hold second now, because of that lovely attacking play from Red Shock. And now Epsilon Esports thinking, yeah, we'll try and cause a bit of distraction maybe. Now what will Epsilon Esports do here? Again, random stickies, take a look. He's about to put some there as well, and he's putting stickies there. So obviously they're running a heavy again, they're running a sniper on the right hand side. I don't understand this. Crackclan have done exactly the same thing that Epsilon Esports did. They've got now Epsilon Esports have a full heavy fully buffed, and now Crackclan have an Uber advantage. But they're sending what? 2 soldiers in. 2 soldiers in against an Uber. Look! I mean, just look at that. They're being pushed back completely. They're having to use so much of the Uber just to get close to that heavy. Takes down the scout. Stickies kill. Red Shot goes down. Soldier goes down. Tries to go for the medic. Scout goes down. It's just Red Shock alive. What happened there? The strategy was wrong. The way they attacked here. They need a downman. If they're going to push from bottom like that against a heavy who can't even be Ubered, they need to push with a heavy, because it means a downman doesn't have to jump. The stickies, 8 stickies, will do so much damage, and all they have to do is Uber the downman and maybe a soldier just get 1 rocket or a scout. So again, another poor push by Crackclan, and now they're going to have to get out here. Random managed to stay alive somehow. And actually, no, he goes down, my mistake. But Red Shock also goes down for his dealings as well. Beautiful rocket on F2 there. No one was watching the flanks. It seems that Epsilon Esports' soldiers were not watching the flanks. Somehow, again, look at this. Gear does a great job with his rockets. He goes down for it, but somehow Roisey did not pop. He thought, well, yeah, I'm going to stay alive here with the rocket, and he's on 24 health. Again, Roisey, like I said, one of the few medics out there that doesn't like to pop unless he really, really has to. And now there's another back cap. Can Walter save the day? No, we cannot. Just saved by a bash there, Harold, and then they managed to cap this. So this time not working out fully for Epsilon Esports, only purely because the capture point wasn't even half capped, unlike last time, which it was. So Stefan had a little bit of a luxury, the fact that it was almost capped. So now once again, Crackland have the uber advantage. Harry Hook goes down as well. Nox goes down as well though, so it's 5 versus 5, and they've got a scout on the point. This distraction in spawn is they've had to actually uber here because the scout coming in, flanking. That's 3 players down, no chance now for Epsilon Esports, no matter what defense strategy they have up here. Scout, Stefan is up, but there's only so much he can do. Tries to go for the demo. F2 goes down, no heals. I know, you can see. So far in summary, it took Crackland 2 attempts to push on last, or 3, and they capped once. It's taken Epsilon about 7 attempts, and they've only capped once. So the rate of capping last, basically, is the problem for Epsilon Esports. The way they push last and synchronize has been pretty poor. So let's take a look now on middle, see if we can get some, see what the key maker is here, or should I say the key player. That's what makes this happen. Scout versus scout up top there. That's great play. There's a scout up there. So there was a scout coming up here. There was a scout coming up here. They meet. It's a 1 versus 1. Harry Hook thinks about getting out, going down here because he's weak. Goes for the health pack. He's been called by Stefan saying that he is weak. Soldier comes and helps him and annihilates him. Lovely rocket there. Lovely kamikaze jump by Nox. Comes from here. Rocky jumps here. Takes down Roisy over here. And now he's still pushing them back here as well, in fact. He goes down for his play. F2 will be going down here because he just had too much here. Crackland's motto was here just to try and kill the medic so that they can hold second. So it's 3 versus 1 in this case. I know Harry was just spawned, so Red Shock is on his own.
Time has been added.
Now this will be interesting to see if Rando actually tries to go and go for this point. It's just a scout here. They are 2 players down, Crackland, but Epsilon Esports, remember they didn't have a medic, so 2 minutes 30 on the second, 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, and basically, if I was Epsilon, which is probably what they're thinking, is we'll buy a little bit of time, make it so that if we make a push to second and first, Crackland won't have an attempt to go for our second and third, or middle second and third, middle second and last. So they're just building furiously here. Both medics still have Uber. There's no way a medic should be playing crits at this stage, risking it. If you play with crits, it's a massive risk that it may not be pulled off, because obviously crit squeak, you're not immune to taking any damage. So so now it's an Uber apiece. Interesting to see, if you just take a look at Crackland setup again. They've got the same as Epsilon Esports with the soldier up top. They've got a scout on height advantage. However, they are holding a little bit more forward, thinking that they can hold on the boxes. For me, that's a little bit risky because obviously Epsilon Esports can send a soldier rocket jumping from here, a soldier from here, rocket jumping onto there, a downman jumping from here. So it's a bit risky for me, and also if they were running a sniper, it would have been more risky. So it's just funny to see how teams set up their players in terms of positions defensively anyway. See, Walter should be going down. Great spam. However, Harry goes down, so it's 5 versus 5 at the moment. You can see they've Ubered on the right hand side. Red Shock managed to get saved by Roisy. Now just a little tip for you medics out there. If you think about holding the Uber to the last possible second, sometimes it actually works out as a disadvantage. Why? Because the player that is expecting the Uber now thinks he's going to die because you haven't Ubered him in time. Now, Retshock was on 24 health. He just gets Ubered in time. However, Retshock thinks now that the Uber's going to run out fairly quickly, and at the same time, he's not on full health, so he cannot go in an aggressive manner. So the positivity and the momentum is not with him. So now he's thinking about dropping out because he knows he may not be able to take them on because he's not on even full health. He's only on 114 while Ubered at the moment. And as you can see, royalty is all over the place here. However, Matnan and Harold team up really well, taking down Nox in gear. Pescanova goes down. It's 5 versus 4. They are pretty weak here, some of CC, but nonetheless, CC do really well there. Now you'd think this was Cracklands, but Retshock, this is where the key thing goes down. Key problem for Crackland here. Retshock goes aggressive. I don't know why. They are 5 players. They are 5 players up. There's no need to rush it. He goes on top thinking, yeah, height advantage. I'll rain some stickies. But Randa's thinking, nah, mate, you're going down. And he actually managed to take down Retshock, who's on 88 health. And there you can see. And this is where the problem was. Because now there's a scout on this. I'm not sure about what this scout is doing here. I don't know why he's trying to think, yeah, I'll still cap this. He knows that Epsilon Esports are not going to let him cap this, especially when there's a back cap going on. So this scout should have just got out and stayed alive. There's 2 scouts on it now, but for me they should have just dropped out. There's no way they could have taken on that. They managed to do a back cap. That's Harry Hook down. That's 2 players down. Now Epsilon Esports will be thinking about recapping this. Sorry, Crackdown will be thinking about recapping this, which they do, and they managed to get out just in the nick of time. Not, and that's the problem right there. See, for me, that was the problem. Let's just show you. So what just happened, right? We had 2 scouts on middle. We had a scout back capping from Epsilon Esports. Now that back cap was crucial because the heavies needed help. However, the scouts thought, yeah, we'll get this point on middle. I think we can take on the entire team of Epsilon Esports, the best team in Europe. However, it doesn't really work like that. Because if Retshock didn't go down, then I would agree that scouts should have stayed on there. But because Retshock went down, a down man is seriously detrimental to the team. If he goes down, then the scouts haven't got any support anymore in terms of ranging territory and sticky damage. So the scouts should have just got out of there, gone back, and even if that scout had done the back cap, the scouts would have been back on second instead of dying, and they could have recapped second so quickly with times 6 or times 7 onto that point. But instead they decided to stay on middle, and now here we are now with Epsilon Esports killing those scouts, killing the medic, in fact killing one scout, killing the medic, and now if you just take a look at this soldier here, he's in no man's land. There's medic, he's dead. Other scouts managed to go back in and stay alive. There's that soldier there. He's about to be toast. There's a scout on the medic, trying to go for the medic. F2 spotted it, he goes down. Now look, 20 seconds on the clock. Full Uber advantage here. Epsilon Esports, you think are going to get this? That's the problem there. That was the problem there. Again, the adrenaline pumping. Gear goes in onto the hut. He was already on like 110 health. He rocket jumps onto here. He's on 58 health. The heavy takes him down. Now they're minus a player. Not a smart move. He should have just waited. They had the Uber advantage. 20 seconds is a long amount of time to cap a point. Trust me, you only need 3 seconds or less to capture a point. So you've got 17 seconds to deal the damage and kill people while capping. It's not a hard task. I don't know why Gear rushed it there, but I think that's where it cost Epsilon Esports this push. Because the heavy kills him. Heavy goes back in, switches spawn, and now you can see Crackdown furiously jumping in, trying to save this point. And they managed to, and it's 1-1. Let's just make a summary here of what just happened. So, Epsilon Esports just push from here. Right thing to do. Heavy was pretty smart here by Crackclan. I've got to admit, Heavy was here on the floor because he didn't have enough time to go on top. And he kills this soldier. But then at the same time, he managed to get out and stay alive. Now that was also crucial as well, because if he died, then there would have been a player down and they couldn't have respawned into a different class. So that Heavy kills that soldier, goes back to spawn, stays just alive, which means Epsilon Esports didn't do their job in taking that Heavy down quick enough. The Heavy goes back inside, switches class, goes soldier, and then he manages to jump onto this point and basically buy some time before, so that they can't capture a point while the time is ticking. There's only like 5 seconds left. Now Epsilon Esports, it was 20 seconds left. They had full Uber advantage. They had 6 players up, and they still lost it. That is why Epsilon Esports did not win this map. Their attack and execution on last was very poor. Basically, Crackclan in my eyes, played well, but Epsilon Esports overall were the better team on this map. They were the better team. However, it's like they say in football, what's the point of being the best passing team in the world if you can't score? It's the same thing in this case. Epsilon Esports transitions were great from rollout to third, from third to second, from second to third to fourth. It was great. When it came to last, it was very, very poor. It's quite obvious that they're still new to the map and they're still figuring out how to push last. And at the same time, Crackland capitalised on this and managed to hold. And we've ended up with 1-1. Now, Epsilon Esports should not be in this position. They should have won this map easily 3-1, 4-1, if not 5-1. And Crackland know it. But somehow, Epsilon Esports did not manage to synchronise very well and attack like a unit, as we've always seen them on the regular maps. So here we are now, because it's an ETF2L Premiership match, a league match. We can't end with a draw on a map, so we have a golden cap. So for those that don't know what a golden cap is, it basically means the next round wins the map. So whoever wins it wins 2 points, and whoever loses gets just 1 point. Obviously, because it's drawn after 30 minutes, whoever lost deserves at least a point, even if they lose the golden cap. So it's 2 points for the winner, whoever wins the golden cap, and 1 point for the loser. The time limit is 10 minutes, and yeah. After 10 minutes, if no round is capped, whoever's holding middle wins the map. So, what we're thinking? We're thinking golden cap, thinking someone's going to go huge, right? Okay, so let's unpause it. To be fair, the medics from Crackland, the medics in this game, so from Crackland and Epsilon Esports, were, along with Stefan, the best players on this map. They did a really good job in staying alive, getting into position, and also not popping the Uber, especially Voids are doing such a good job. So if we just wait for them to ready up here, you should notice on comms, Stefan is going to say something like, "They're going to go huge" or something. So watch Stefan here at the start. We're going to take a first-person view actually of Stefan. Now Stefan has an idea in his head. He's thinking, okay, I'm going to go for something, and I'm going to go for the medic or the demo. Now if you watch him, he goes for the demo man full on, and he actually is the only guy on this golden cap round where he manages to make a massive impact, whereas the soldiers from Epsilon Esports are basically create the mistake and lose the middle. I'll show you shortly when it starts. Should be ready up any time shortly now. Obviously golden cap means some magic is required, so maybe some solo skill, or maybe some synchronized strategy, or something that, unique, something that hasn't been done before in the last 30 minutes needs to be done to catch them out. You can see they've readied up. You can take a look at Stefan. Crazy tactics, as you just said. Let's take a look at what he's going to do here. He's going for a crazy tactic. He's thinking one thing on his mind. Demo man. Kill Demo man. Must kill Demo man. What's the shortest route? Let's pause it here. What's the shortest route to get to the Demo man? Kitchen, as it's the blind spot. Go through there and take him out quickly. Goes through there, double jumps from there, goes around the hut, gets focused on, goes down. Now what's the problem here? Stefan just did an amazing move. He just double jumped from the side, even from the stairs, from the middle of the stairs, double jumped onto the left hand side so no one can see him come from the kitchen. Sneaks in, comes in here, and literally comes and ravages onto Stefan. Now, in this case, Epsilon Esports have gone for the different approach. They've this time sent 2 scouts in as the bait, and the soldiers need to go forward, and the soldiers will come and mop up. Now, the problem is, none of the soldiers are on high ground, they're all on the floor. So, here you can see Walters and Stefan busting their ass. Stefan's just about to go down. Walters is about to go down. Right? They've taken down a demo, fine. But where are the soldiers? The soldiers haven't even got a height advantage. It would have needed 1 soldier to go on here. But what's happened instead is that I think it's Matnan, or is it Pescanova? I think it's Pescanova, in fact, who's gone top, but no one's actually seen him, because remember, the scouts are no longer on the hut or on high ground. They've gone for a different crazy strategy, and the soldiers, in my opinion, have not adapted to this strategy at all. Not covering the flanks and not covering their positional territory that they should be covering, and adapting to what the scouts are doing. And if you take a look what happens. So Stefan goes down. There's Pescanova. He's still above. Remember, look, Pescanova is still above. He's the only guy who's above, and he's just raining rockets. What does that mean? It means these soldiers are going to find a really hard time in killing the soldier, because it's obviously going to take a direct hit to maybe at least damage him, but it won't even kill him. He needs 2, if not 3 rockets to die here, Pescanova. And look, he's still above, trying to go for the medic. Goes down. Pescanova does a great job. 6 players down, and just look at that. 2 scouts alive. And they already go. This is a smart play by the other scout who's pushing up on second, so that when Epsilon spawn, they think twice about trying to hold second, which they can't.
Our control point is being captured.
So there, on that middle, is the soldiers who are in the wrong positional play, and that's why they lost that middle. And you'll see shortly, now that Crackland have an uber advantage, they're not going to mess this up. So far, their success rate has been much better than Epsilon Esports, and they know it, and they've got the momentum now. So they just need to be careful here. Obviously, Walters is here, maybe trying to get a pick on the medic. So you can see now they're going to Uber out here. So what have they done this time? They've actually cleverly thought this through now at Crackland. They know they're going to run a heavy. So what they're going to do? They're going to focus the down man and the scout on that heavy, rather than what? A soldier. That's right. So against the heavy, you should send a scout, obviously, because the scout is not going to rocket jump, because he can't. He can only double jump, and it's not going to push him very far. Downman maybe jumping will be a little bit risky, but nonetheless, he can't focus on 2 things. Let's take a look at this. Heavy should be going down, getting meat shotted to hell.
The final control point is being contested.
And there you can see he gets pushed back all the way, and then Crackland managed to cap. So what happened was, Uber the scout, Uber the demo, push them all the way back. F2 doesn't have it. They all drop here, Epsilon Esports, all behind this truck. And what's the difference this time? Crackland think about getting on the point. Sure, they can't kill them, but what can they do? They can also cap, because Randa didn't actually put any stickies onto the point. He actually put them on the lamp again, but it was too obvious this time. Crackland had got used to it, so instead they just got on the point here, got ×3, and by then it was too little too late for all of Epsilon Esports to try and save this point. And that was the fundamental difference with Epsilon Esports on pushing last. When they pushed, they tried to go for the kills first before sacrificing onto the point. The difference was Red Shot put stickies on the point rather than hiding in ninja areas. Yes, it's great to put ninja stickies on, no dispute there, but in this case, when you're down an Uber, or you're trying to build the Uber and get back the advantage, you've got to put some stickies on the point, which buys you some time. It stops a scout or any other class trying to get onto that point and capping it. And in this case, there wasn't any stickies on that point, and Crackland think, well, hang on a minute, I tell you what, if you're going to just drop all the way back to spawn and there's no stickies on the point, how about we just cap? And that's what happens. So it's really good play here by Crackland, and they've just won the golden cap, and they win this map basically overall. So they get 2 points, and Epsilon Esports get 1. Now, if you take a look at this analysis over and over again, you'll notice how Epsilon Esports, theoretically deserved to win this. However, they didn't. Why? Because they executed their pushes to last so poorly that it ended up costing them. Whereas Crackland's success rate of pushing to last was either 2 out of 5 or 2 out of 4. It was something very, very good. Now that may sound poor to a lot of you, but trust me, there's a lot of pushes that occur on a map, and the stats are usually much worse than 2 out of 4 or 2 out of 5. So Crackland did a great job. I think Epsilon Esports had maybe one. Yeah, obviously not maybe. They had 1 out of 8 or 9 or maybe 10 pushes to last, and it was such a poor display really by them, because we were not used to Epsilon Esports doing that. Nonetheless, in this case, Crackland won it, so well done to Crackland. And hopefully you've enjoyed this analysis. Feedback is always welcome. And yeah, hopefully I'll find another map, or maybe a similar map, to commentate on where Epsilon do win a map, because so far I've done now 2 maps where Epsilon have both lost, unfortunately. So apologies there, Epsilon guys. Anyway, you've been listening to a bite on analysis and commentary of Epsilon between the game of Epsilon Esports and Crackland for the ETF2 World Premiership game on CP Snakewater. Cheers, thanks.